And to you, good day.
I have a question when you talked about that we can access memories from past lives, although...
Yes, because it's all going on right now.
Right.
So all you're doing is cross-connecting to a simultaneously coexistent vibration.
So I just wanted you to comment, because I am currently accessing memories from this place on planet Earth about 155,000 years ago called Lemuria.
Yes.
And
that is a more recent name for it in your society.
What was the old name?
Mu.
Oh, Mu. Okay. And in this reality, there were not only humans living on Earth, but there were also elves, pixies, dwarves.
Well, in a sense. Now, they still exist, but you must understand that these are different dimensional beings. It's simply that as you have changed yourself, your vibration, you have taken yourself to a parallel reality Earth, speaking of you all as a species in general, you have taken yourself to parallel reality Earths that don't contain the frequency necessary to perceive into other dimensions as easily as you used to. But in those ancient times, when you were more connected to nature, when you were more connected to your intuition, to your natural selves, you had the ability to perceive into multitude of dimensions simultaneously, and so the ability to interact with different kinds of consciousness as it would express itself in different forms in those different dimensions. All those beings and all those dimensions still express themselves that way, and many of you are beginning to recapture and reclaim and recreate the original vibrations that allow you to perceive into those different dimensional realms that are inhabited by forms of consciousness other than your own.
Okay.
Does that help?
A little bit.
Oh, all right. Where would you like to go with this idea?
I guess this is going to sound strange. Well,
to sound strange to us?
Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. I was told in a psychic reading, and
yes,
that originally I was actually an elf.
All right. Now, we understand what is meant. Let us clarify this idea.
Okay.
Again, we ask you to keep the perspective that all things exist simultaneously.
Right.
So, when you say, I was an elf, you are you.
Right.
You have never been anything but you.
Okay.
Because that's you, this particular personality.
Right.
All right? So, nevertheless, what is typically referred to in your language as the oversoul, do you know that term?
Yes.
The oversoul, the large, shall we say, consciousness aggregate, from which extensions form and create different experiences of different lives and different realities. The oversoul that creates you also is simultaneously creating an experience in that other dimension as the kind of being that you refer to in your reality as an elf.
Right.
So it's not that you were an elf.
Right.
But you have, through the oversoul, cross-connecting vibrations to a simultaneous existence as another parallel self in that form.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Sort of. All right.
I mean, is that why I can sort of access those memories? Okay.
Because in that sense, when you have any given life, you design that life to cross-connect energetically to any other simultaneously coexisting reality that you need to draw upon for information, for energy, to aid and assist you in each life. So every single life does that. The life of the so-called elf expression also draws upon your experiences in this particular parallel reality to aid and assist it in its experience of life. So there is always cross-communication going on between you and all other simultaneously co-created lives that come from the same oversoul of which you are a part. When you become more sensitive to that cross-communication, you begin to attract information in that way. And it was simply perceived by someone who is somewhat psychically sensitive, but it was stated to you in a typical folkloric manner. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Saying you were an elf.
Right.
That's the mythology, that's the folklore way of saying it.
Okay.
We are now describing to you the idea of the physics understanding behind how that's actually structured. Does that make sense now?
Right. So if there's cross communication going on,
Yes.
does that mean you can alter what's going on in each life?
Well, in a sense, you are helping each life to choose how to alter its own life. Because the idea is that as you walk through life, let's say, for example, you're walking down one of your streets,
Right.
and you are suddenly struck with an inspiration to do something you hadn't thought of before.
Right.
By acting on that inspiration, does that not determine a new course for your life at that moment, shift you into a new parallel reality?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. The idea is that, how do you know that inspiration didn't come from an experience of another parallel self in another reality?
Okay.
So in that way, you could say the experience of that parallel life gave you information that you turned into or experienced as or translated as an inspiration that thus then allowed you to take action in a direction you hadn't thought of before. So in that context, yes, you affect each other.
Okay.
And the oversoul's perspective is that it is gathering information simultaneously from all of those versions of itself simultaneously.
Okay.
So it is also, in that sense, shall we say, affected by the experiences of all the extensions it has created to experience different dimensions of reality. And that alters its course by choices it makes. And on and on and on and on and on and on and on, all the way up to the one. But not quite to the one. Why not, you ask?
Yes.
Because the one, by definition, never changes. The one is all that is.
Right.
And all that is all that is. And cannot become something other than all that is. So the idea of all these changes only goes up to just under the one.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Does that answer your
Yes.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, but I had another
Oh, what a
question
surprise.
related. This sort of just came on Thursday.
You mean an inspiration?
An idea about Lemuria.
An idea, yes.
That it might have also, the people from Lemuria might have also come from, it's like a planet near Sirius.
You must all understand that what you are picking up on is the idea that there is extraterrestrial DNA and genetics in all of you.
Okay.
And the idea is that happened a long time ago, but that the civilization you call Lemuria was one of the earliest ones that expressed one of the full balances of human and alien DNA. They did interact also with extraterrestrial beings here and there, but they were the progeny of the natural development of evolution on your planet, altered by extraterrestrial DNA, and thus then also evolved to a high level of interactivity with nature. Okay. But you are picking up on all those frequencies because they all exist within you, and you're starting to recognize that.
So another thought, sorry, last
Yes.
question. So if you have access to these memories through these parallel lives in
Yes.
other worlds,
Yes.
and there's this thing that you can create, like
Yes.
it's a vesicle Pisces and it's like a portal.
Yes.
Can you use those not past life, but memories from another dimension? Can you then not use them to travel back into those lives because you have the memories?
You can gain more awareness or more focus from the perspective of that part of the oversoul experiencing that life. But again, remember, it's not you.
Right.
In a sense, let's put it this way. There's already somebody there that's already a part of your oversoul.
Right.
You are you, they are they. You're not going to exactly have their life. But you can gain as much information and experience and perspective, many times even very solidly, very holographically, very really, but it will only be for the purpose of allowing you to interpret that information in a way that's applicable in the life as you.
Right.
Because otherwise there would be no purpose in receiving that information. Does that make sense?
Well, so
If you fully simply took on the mantle of the full experience of that life,
right.
it would just be experienced from the point of view of that version, and you would no longer know yourself as you.
Right.
So you would never know you had done it anyway.
Okay.
Make sense?
Sort of.
Sorta. All right. Why don't you go and sorta this out for yourself?
All right. Thank you.
Play with it, all right? Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Good morning, I guess I should say, because you're seeing the dawn above Cairo right now.
No, I am above Sedona.
Oh, I apologize. My question is kind of personal.
Well, all right. Because it comes from a person, I suppose.
To the best of my knowledge.
All right.
I understand that the channel Darryl was shown on 2 occasions the black triangle.
Yes.
And I myself have experienced a black triangle hovering above my car and flashing me with a search beam, I guess, would be a good way to describe it.
Yes, all right.
And since then, I've had many, many experiences, including some limited telepathy and many other things. And I was just not quite clear as to the reasoning behind it.
The reason?
The direction I'm supposed to take, perhaps.
You are supposed to follow the highest excitement you can imagine acting on. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too simple? Would you like me to complicate it?
Please.
All right. Let us back up. Understand that each and every one of you have chosen this life. When you chose this life, from the idea of the spirit level, you also made certain agreements with different kinds of people, both in your life and on other planes of existence. These agreements usually play out as certain kinds of events that unfold in synchronous timing. The reason for making these agreements, because you knew that by having an earth experience you would probably forget a lot of those agreements. Much of the purpose of those meetings and those agreements and those appointments is to spur you toward remembering more of who you are. The way you easily do that, and the way you apply the effect of those experiences as you have had them, is to act every moment that you can to the best of your ability on whatever comes along as an option or an opportunity that contains the highest amount of high vibratory excitement and passion that you are capable of acting on. If you do that, you will be instilling within yourself the vibration of your true core self, and it will actually help you have more insight and more memory in the moment of why those meetings took place, what they are for, and how to use them. Your world will expand, your vision will open up, you will understand the bigger picture of all the agreements that you have made. But those are like friends that come along every now and then and give you a little nudge and say, remember, it's time to get on about doing this. So the idea is that whatever that experience has turned your mind to focus on, whatever it has inspired you to explore, was the purpose of the meeting. But the fundamental purpose is to get you to act on your highest joy and so become more and more and more of the self you agreed to become in this life experience. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
It does, but?
Okay. Following my excitement has come into contrast with just my earthly needs and necessities, you know.
Nonsense. If you are actually, truly acting on your excitement, there can be no conflict. So if you are experiencing the idea of conflict between the concept of following your excitement and your so-called earthly needs, what that means is you are still working on the process of figuring out to believe that your excitement can support you. Now, if you have a belief system still that says, my excitement cannot support me fully, then I would certainly not advise you to just jump away from your present belief systems. If you have present belief systems that say you have to do A, B, and C in order to fulfill your earthly needs, then I would advise you to hold on to those beliefs and honor them and still work with them. Nevertheless, from our perspective, I can guarantee you that if you actually at any time truly allow yourself to fully act on your highest joy with the understanding that your highest joy is the driving engine and the organizing principle of your life, and that it will automatically and synchronistically bring you everything you need in whatever form it really needs to be there, then you will allow yourself to experience the fact that it can actually do that. It's only the physical mind's ego structure that thinks certain things have to happen in a certain way, or somehow you will suffer. If you allow the higher mind to guide you in this, you will find the higher mind is capable of bringing you everything you need, even though sometimes that thing may be different than the physical mind's idea of what that should be. Is that making some sense?
Yes, it does.
We will be talking a little bit more about the idea of how to form a stronger relationship between physical mind and higher mind in what you call tomorrow's transmission. All right?
All right.
Does this help you for...
And to you, good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, all right.
I can't believe it.
Well, obviously you can, yes.
Yes, it's a dream. It's a dream world.
It is. Physical reality is just another kind of dream.
It is, and I've been creating the most wonderful dreams lately in my life.
Thank you.
And my life is a testimony to your success. I just want to say that, and the ET success at this point. I've lost everything and gained it back, got it back, and more.
Oh, all right. That's a testimony to your success, not ours.
Thank you.
Our success is being ourselves. Your success is being yourself.
Well, your guidance.
All right. Thank you. We're happy to share.
It did. It works. It works. Right now.
We know it does.
It
although
really
none
works.
of you have to believe it.
Yeah, 13 is my. It's been my number since I was born.
Oh, all right.
Born Friday, February 13th, 1987.
All right. How exciting.
And it's been just a path that's guided me.
Of course.
That number.
Well, you are a path.
Thank you.
Remember, none of you are on a path. You are a path. You can't really be off yourself.
So I do have. I basically I'm kind of nervous now because this is literally a pinnacle leap in my life right here, being here at this time, at this moment.
Yes. What isn't that
dreamt of
exciting?
this. It's very exciting.
Oh, all right. Then you don't have to be nervous.
I take people up for ET contact groups. I
Yes.
was told to do that, and I end up
All
moving.
right. Are you having fun?
Yes, a lot of fun.
All right.
It is my highest excitement.
All
that
right.
connection is my highest excitement.
That kind of what?
The connection
Yes.
between me and them, to
Yes, yes, yes.
sharing that with other people.
All right. And so?
And so I just, basically came here to share that with you. And
Thank
share-
you. It has been shared.
And you get to do that too, and it's really fun that I get to lift people up and empower them
Yes.
in their lives and show them that we're, how we can grow, how we can move, how we can
Yes.
flow.
But more precisely, our excitement is in sharing information that allows people to lift themselves up.
Exactly.
Because we don't lift anyone up. We can only lift ourselves up.
Yeah.
But others can choose to do so by choosing to match the vibration we give off of lifting ourselves up. And that's what's exciting to us.
So I moved to a place in Colorado.
Oh, all right.
From Denver, and when I got there, I was wondering why I ended up being in this random place in the middle of nowhere.
It's exciting.
It is very exciting.
And who knows what will happen in a place where you don't know what will happen.
So basically, I started channeling and connecting, and I've always been connected with ETs.
All right.
And I end up having visions.
Yes. Of what?
Of me in a past life, but parallel existing life,
Yes.
holding one of the 13 crystal skulls
Oh, all right.
on a ship,
Yes.
kind of with an emotion of sadness
All right.
at the time,
Yes.
and flying over the area where I live right now, or in that area.
Yes. And?
And I was just wondering if you could maybe give me some more correlation on that.
Well, you're connecting to the time when the skulls were separated. And so the experience you're having of sadness is the idea of recognizing that they needed to be separated and that it would take, in terms of time, a long time before they would be brought back together again.
Well, and then I asked the universe, send me synchronicities that show me the path I need to go for that focus of whatever this means to me. I try not to take it on as I am the holder of the 13th skull, because that was a past parallel life.
You tap into all sorts of different things as you need to. It's a dynamic thing. Remember that these are dynamic things. When people on your planet talk about what is my past life, this is dynamically changing all the time, because you're connecting to other things as you need to, and as you become a different person, you may need to connect to another life that coexists. So one moment you may say, well, you're connecting now to an ancient Egyptian person in that time frame you call ancient Egypt. that you are thinking is a past life because you need information from this person, because you're interpreting the connection from space-time perspective as a memory. Therefore, that's why you think it's your past life, as opposed to simply the life of someone living in Egypt parallel to you now. But nevertheless, all that aside, the idea is that you connect to whatever you need to at any given moment. And when you're a new person, you'll connect to different things. So next week, you may no longer have the connection to the ancient Egyptian person. So the idea of what is my past life is not fixed. It's constantly changing as you are. Dynamic, change. Remember, it's the fifth law. Everything changes except the laws. Yes. So even that, even your relationship to other lives changes as you change. Yes?
Yes. So I end up 3 days later after that process of asking my higher self to send me synchronicity to guide me on the path that,
yes,
best suits that purpose.
Yes. And you end up?
And I ended up meeting this person who told me about a giant skull carved into the Grand Mesa where I live right next to.
All right.
And I went online, and it was the synchronicities just blow my mind.
That's what they're supposed to do. Quite literally.
So, and it's like literally 1/3 the size of the Grand Mesa.
Yes.
And so I started getting information to do contact groups up there. So I bring people up there.
All right.
And have you heard of the Shambhala?
Yes.
I was wondering if you might give me some more understanding of your interpretation of that.
It is an experience in a slightly altered dimension of physical reality that if you manage to shift your frequency to match it, you can begin to experience. It's a particular region or several regions that can appear on your planet that are representative of another reality, another version of physical reality that is more in alignment with your higher mind. Therefore, when you can match that frequency, sometimes you can have glimpses or even long extended visions of existing within the concept you call Shambhala. It's a slightly removed reality from yours. Just on a slightly different frequency, but just enough so that you will know that when you match that frequency, you've really shifted to something different. It's another example of a break in physical continuity that is specifically designed to let you know you have broken with your physical continuity and the mass consensus to a great degree. Does this make sense?
Yes, yeah, it definitely does.
All right.
That's beautiful. So a couple days before I came here, I laid out outside under the stars.
Yes.
And I always have ET contact through, just looking at the stars.
Yes.
And literally, I saw 20, 30 different stars. And then I said the same thing I just told you, that my life is literally a testimony to you guys being here and your guidance and your gracefulness, because it's really, it's helped me immensely.
All right. Well, all of you are a testimony to us being here too.
Well, then a giant bright light shined right on me. So before I could even actually bring the words out.
Yes.
You guys are just on it.
Yes.
Just so synchronistic.
There is much more going on than you are able to perceive. But when you perceive it, you suddenly realize how much is happening.
Yeah. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful. All right, I got some quick questions. Ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Mermaids, yes or no?
Longer answer than you may think.
Okay, darn.
There have been some genetic creations that would be similar to that in Atlantean times that may have given rise to some of those legends. In terms of them existing physically as a species on your Earth, no, but they are part of the nature world that again is a slightly altered, shifted vibrational reality to yours that sometimes overlaps in your reality, and therefore sometimes people who are sensitive to it can sometimes perceive those kinds of beings, but they don't exist in your normal physical reality.
All right. Dragons?
Similar idea.
dragons.
Again, they are beings that are of a higher dimensional level that you can interact with, but they exist between the planes of dimensions. They are never presenting themselves in your physical reality as the dragon that you think they do. They look quite different when they come into your reality. But the idea is that you perceive them in the way that you do when they're in their own natural state in between the dimensions. But they are higher levels of wisdom.
Megalodon.
Well, that exists. It's a giant shark.
Does it exist right now?
Several do, in the very depths of your oceans.
Awesome.
And a few other things you haven't found yet.
Oh, cool. Way cool. How about a hollow earth?
No, not physically.
Okay.
Again, people that may have, without intending to, crossed through different dimensional vortices may find themselves in a reality that, because of their understanding of physical reality, they think actually physically is inside the earth, when in fact they're no longer on the earth anywhere at all.
Really?
So they just make the assumption when they come back through that particular portal that they've actually physically been inside the earth, and they haven't. They've been somewhere else.
What can you tell me about Argentina, and that wouldn't jeopardize anything in such a way?
It's a lovely country.
Is it?
Maybe you should visit there.
Oh, no, sorry, Antarctica, excuse me. I was thinking Argentina. Antarctica.
Well, that's a lovely country too.
All right.
But you might want to dress more warmly. What we can tell you is, yes, there are certain extraterrestrial bases there. And that's all we're going to say for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, it looks like we're done with questioners. We do have a few minutes left.
Meaning?
Well, when you were talking before about other versions of yourself and the idea that you change your history every time you change yourself. Yes. Now, is that on the personality level that you're saying that? And what is it that makes a parallel version of you still you versus it being another person, like a past life connection that you're making?
Generally speaking, whatever you still recognize as being similar to you, as opposed to that which seems different enough that you don't recognize yourself anymore.
Okay, so what is, and can you be more precise about the difference between it's the personality that most of us perceive ourselves as being. Yes. And yet I think a lot of the information that you share reflects on the idea that at other levels of yourself.
Yes.
Obviously, you're indestructible.
Yes.
You can change your history instantly.
Will you change your history even physically? Remember that what we're talking about includes your physical experience. It's not above it. It's not beyond it. It includes your physical experience.
Right.
So when we talk about changing your history, we are referring to something that is mostly a physical experience. Because on the higher levels, there really isn't a concept of history, since everything is perceived to exist more simultaneously.
Right. So if you have a version of yourself that's on an earth that's peaceful, it doesn't have any war,
which
things
all
like
of you
that.
Probably do.
Right. And then you have another version of yourself that maybe is stuck in World War II kind of environment.
Which many of you actually do.
Right. So each of those versions of yourself have different histories.
Exactly.
And it sort of reflects the idea that when the version of you that you're experiencing yourself to be now, changes a belief. You change your entire history at that moment.
Every change is a total change.
And so all the alternate versions of you are obviously doing the same thing.
They are.
And experiencing themselves as being the center of the universe.
Yes, exactly so. It's a holographic, multidimensional experience of all that is, seeing itself from all the different points of view that it can simultaneously, and all those points of view seeing themselves as the center of all that experience that they are having. Yes.
So is there an infinite number of versions of you, each person?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. But the perception that you have of yourself excludes all those other versions of yourself.
Otherwise, how could you experience that?
It's a lot to wrap your mind around sometimes.
It is. But again, remember, it goes hand in hand with what we have said about the idea that while you think you're only using 10% of your brain, you're actually using 100% to make it seem as if you're only using 10% of your brain. Therefore, you purposely block things out so that you can have a particular kind of experience that otherwise you couldn't have if all that information was flooding in.
So does that mean that all the different versions of you have different themes, or some
Yes.
may, some may not?
Yes. Well, some may be very similar, some may be very different. Again, any variation you can imagine is happening somewhere on some level.
So I think a lot of people feel like, oh, I'd like to be experiencing what that version of me is
If
experiencing.
it is relevant for you to experience that, then by acting on your highest excitement to the best of your ability with no insistence on a particular outcome, the relevancy will bring synchronicity into your life to give you your version of that experience.
Because each version of you has its own higher mind, right?
Absolutely.
And so each version of you is experiencing a specific theme that will determine what is relevant for you to experience and whether you're going to shift into a parallel reality where you're experiencing another version of yourself or what that other version is experiencing.
Correct. See how simple it is?
And it all comes down to need and not want, right?
It all comes down to what you need. Sometimes your wants and your needs may coincide, but the idea is that if you understand that what you need is actually what serves you best and is most aligned with your highest vibration, then you can allow yourself to want what you need.
Right, which comes back to the AAA
The
formula.
AAA technique. Yeah. Appreciation is key in this, but the first step is acknowledge what you have instead of what you don't have. Appreciate what you have in that moment and allow what needs to happen next to happen. Acknowledge, appreciate, allow. The AAA technique, again, no coincidence that in your culture, AAA is your sign of rescuing your vehicle from being stranded. So anytime you feel stranded, call on this AAA, take a moment, take a pause, acknowledge what you have instead of what you don't. Appreciate fully what you have at that moment and allow the next thing that needs to happen. And you will take yourself back to the 0 point moment. You will transform negativity into positive vibrational states, and you will begin to flow more easily and effortlessly through your life. So remember that technique. It is very powerful, transformative permission slip. And now, another very powerful, transformative permission slip is for all of you to go and have a